Welcome, family, to part one of today's lesson based on the 12 tribes who are scattered abroad, mentioned in the book of James, chapter 1 1. Family, there has been an awakening of our people, waking up around the world, coming to the knowledge of knowing who they are and to whom they belong. Hallelujah. This is very encouraging indeed. It's a very encouraging aspect because we were all identified only as slaves and by the color of our skin, which became a byword. Even in today's world, we are still treated as such, a byword. Our people had no idea where we were from. We had no point of reference. But Abba Yah, in His mercy, is bringing us into the truth of who we are and letting us know that we are a special people and that we belong to Him. We are the 12 Hebrew tribes who were scattered abroad among the Gentiles. And these lessons are for those who's already woke and for those who are just waking up, to be encouraged, to educate yourself in finding the truth about your true bloodline of your ancestors. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Now, Romans chapter 8, verse 16 reminds us that the Spirit Himself bears witness with our spirit that we are children of Elohim. You will also learn from these lessons that you don't have to rely on what someone tells you about who you are, but you can certainly rely on the evidence you have read for yourself in the book of truth, so you can stand firm in your understanding of who you truly are. Once, family, you have an understanding of who you are, no one, and I repeat, no one can take that from you or gaslight you to believing something else, because you are now standing in truth from the word of the Most High Yah, and we cannot get any higher than that. The Spirit Himself bears witness to us, family, with our spirit. He speaks to us to confirm that we are the children of the Most High. And that is a very, very good place to start. Let me repeat, Romans 8:16 says, "The Spirit Himself bears witness with our spirit to tell us and confirm that we are children of Elohim." We also need, family, to be aware that in Romans 9:6, the phrase, "not all Israel is Israel." What does that mean? What does it mean that all Israel isn't Israel? Well, you need to be fully aware that there are people out there calling themselves Israel, and they are not. And Revelation chapter 2, verse 9 refers to them as a synagogue of Satan. And we need to remember that Shem is the eldest son of Noah. And you can find that in the book of Genesis chapter 5, verse 32, Genesis 6, verse 10, 1 Chronicles 1 and 4. All the lineages there. Shem was one of the 8 people to escape the flood. And from Shem, we get Eber. And all the descendants of Eber would be called Hebrew. And Abraham was a Hebrew, and he had 8 sons. He fathered Ishmael with Agar, and Isaac with Sarah. And later, after Sarah's death, he had another 6 more sons. All of Abraham's children are Hebrew, and Jacob was known as Israel. Okay, Jacob was known as Israel, and we are the descendants from Israel. So we are Hebrew Israelites. There is no mention in this that James is writing to Europe or Europeans. He did not say he's writing to those who claimed to be a Hebrew. It is time, family, to look up. Look up, for our redemption is near. Lift up your heads in joy, because our suffering will soon be over. Why? Because our Messiah, Yahushua Mashiach, will be returning soon to gather us unto himself. Unto that, we should say hallelujah. And the reason why we should look up, because the Bible instructs us to do so in Luke chapter 21, verses 27 to 28. And I'm reading from the Amplified Bible. Then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with transcendent, overwhelming power, subduing who? The nations, and with great glory. Verse 28. Now, when these things begin to occur, stand tall and lift up your heads in joy. Why? Because suffering ends as your redemption is drawing near. May these words bless your soul. So we will begin in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 1. And we will concentrate only on the first verse in this lesson. And I'm reading from the New King James Version. And it reads, James, a bond servant of Elohim and of Yahushua Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Note, family, the Hebrew name of James is Yaakov, while James is an English name. The translator transfer his name into English, what his Hebrew name is Yaakov, and is derived from the Latin I hu komos, okay, and ultimately from the Hebrew Yaakov. Now, the Hebrew equivalent is the direct form. Jacob, James means Yaakov. So when you see James, you should be really reading Yaakov. And Yaakov is the half brother of our Messiah, Yahushua Mashiach. So the question we should be asking, who is Yaakov writing to? Well, he told you. He's writing to the 12 tribes. He is not writing to any other people. He is directly addressing the 12 tribes who have been scattered abroad. In other words, worldwide. So pay close attention, family. This is our Messiah, Yahushua Mashiach's brother, Yaakov, who's writing a letter addressing the 12 tribes of Israel. Look closely at the letter. Yaakov is not writing to the whole world. So any teachings you're having that he's writing to the world, no, he's just told you he's writing to the 12 tribes of Israel. He's being specific in whom he's writing. He's specific in whom he's writing to. Okay, so you can see that. Can you see that, family? He is being specific. He is not writing to the nations of the world. That is the first thing you need to see and get an understanding of. So Yaakov is speaking to the 12 tribes of Israel. This is very, very important to understand, that we are not, let me repeat, we are not the 12 tribes of Judah. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. And one of those tribes is Judah. So Judah is included in the 12 tribes, but we are not. We are not the 12 tribes of Judah, as some will have you believe. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. Judah later began representing a southern region called Judea. So here in this verse, James 1:1, as I said earlier, his name is Yaakov. He is speaking to the 12 tribes that are scattered all around the world, which means that he is speaking to a specific people and not just one tribe or not the continent of Europe, wherever we may be. He's speaking to the tribes because he knew that we were scattered all around the world and he was writing to us. There are teachings out there that there are only one tribe, and that is absolutely incorrect. There are 12 tribes, family, that have been scattered. Where have they been scattered? Among the Gentiles. And the word Gentiles, meaning in Hebrew, the word Gentile is typically translated as Goy, Goy, which is the plural of Goyim. And these words generally mean nation or nations, but are often used in religious context to refer to non-Israelites, people or nations. So when you hear the word goyim or goy, it's speaking about nation or nations. They are non-Israelites. And here again, I reinforce our Yaakov was not writing to the non-Israelites. He was specifically writing to the tribe that has been scattered, and there are 12 of us. Okay, so we can clearly see that Yaakov was not writing to the non-Israelite nations, the Gentiles, but he is writing to the tribes that are scattered among the Gentiles. In other words, the diaspora. Now, the word diaspora is another Greek term which was originally coined to describe the experience of the people after the Babylonian captivity of 586 BC, even after return from exile to Jerusalem. I have to keep repeating this so that there is no misunderstanding of who the 12 tribes are. And in the next video lesson, we will study what the diaspora is, and as we study it as a nation. What does it mean when we say the diaspora and as a nation? Of Afro-Asiatic, we got scattered among the nations of Gentiles, and we also need to learn why was it so important, why Yaakov had to write a letter to us to encourage us concerning Yahweh and our promised King, Yahushai and Mashiach, which means the Anointed One, because he knew that we're going to be needing encouragement. Look around the world and look the way we are treated, and yet even going back then, it was on his mind. The Holy Ruach HaKodesh worked in him to get in touch with us, to write us, to encourage us, to write to us because of our Messiah, and to encourage us because he knew that we would be ill-treated wherever we are on the earth. And as we go into the study, you'll see how this is. And some of us are living that experience as we speak. Why was this important to encourage us? Because we are scattered among the Gentiles, and we would need someone to reach out to us among the diaspora. So look up, family, and be encouraged, and let us trace our bloodline and our identity of who we truly are, and that we are a chosen people by the Most High Yah. So the next time someone make you feel that you are less than, please remember who you are and to whom you belong. If this lesson encouraged you, our first lesson encouraged you and is helping you to know the truth about who you are and to whom you belong, please like, share, and subscribe so others can find the truth also. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you will know when each lesson is uploaded. And until the next lesson, keep feasting on Torah and keep searching for the truth. Shalom.